There we go. Perfect. I can turn on the overlay
Good.
as well.
Wow, thank you, Paz, for subbing again. That's the 9th month Paz is sub. Welcome to the PBE official podcast. This is episode 3. We are joined by a new create leather neck Mike, who we're going to be interviewing about his experience. Thank you, Brainchild, for subbing as well. Shout out to Attack by Loa for getting some reps, by the way. Appreciate the heads up. And Person Man's hosting again. Thank you so much for hosting, Person Man. How you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. The daily bets didn't go as well as I wanted them to, and I'm going to lose in my fantasy league. But yeah, this Sunday sillies before the Monday muses. I guess I don't know.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us despite your woes in betting. Hopefully you can have a better night on this podcast. So we're going to probably start with asking you. We wanted to bring you on, Leatherneck Mike, because we wanted to... good evening, LBG. We smell Person Man. Yeah, he's here for sure.
Stinky.
So Leatherneck Mike, so how did you find out about PBE? When did you create? We're actually probably going to pull up your player page if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. So yeah, so can you kind of go into how you found us and how the creating experience was and how it's been since you've joined PBE?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me and all that fun jazz. I think it was you actually on Reddit. There was somebody, I'm pretty sure it was you, made a video on Reddit about the league and explaining how to create the player, and I was like, well, this seems like a really interesting concept because I have 2,100 hours in the last 4 editions of Out of the Park Baseball.
How
And
many?
2,100 hours in the last 4 editions.
That's worth highlighting.
Total, not individually.
That begs a poll question.
Okay, 87 and a
But
half
continue.
days.
Yeah, I looked it up the other day. Yeah, I have 87 and a half days in the last 4 years in that game.
Just
But
a few
anyway,
months.
I had always been interested in doing an online league at some point, with a friend or whatever, but I'd always found it too complicated to do personally myself. And then I saw this and I'm like, well, this is a really interesting concept because I've never done a first-person experience from the Out of the Park perspective, which is really the only thing I haven't done in that game at this point. And also, it's kind of the online league thing I've been wanting to do, but haven't actually done because I've just kind of looked at it and then my eyes kind of, rolled over in the back of my head. So yeah, saw that. I really liked the concept. And then I basically just followed the video step by step, and I made my player. And I made it, and then I posted it wherever. The forum was confusing because it's been many, many years, like probably I'd say 6 since I was semi-competitive in a game. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, World of Tanks. But that's the last time I've really used the forums, was when I was semi-competitive in high school. But anyway, with the ums out of the way, I hadn't used the forums in a while, and it was kind of tough at first. Like I did it on Friday night, and I kind of looked at it at the weekend, and I was like, maybe this ain't my thing or whatever. And then Kansas City picked me up, and shout out to Enoch. He's a really cool dude. He messaged me. Well, he picked me up, and then I had a message on the forums from him that's like, hey, come to our Discord, and here's the PBE Discord and the rookie one and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. So, and then Sunday, I went and looked at it again because I kind of just wasn't going to do it, honestly. Like, last week when I started it, it was, a week ago Friday I started. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm actually going to do this. This seems like it's going to take too long. It's too complicated, and I don't understand this damn forum. And then it was like 8 o'clock because we got done talking, and then I did 2 of the things that were due that night, 2 of the tests that were due that night. Enoch and I talked for like 2 hours in text chat on Discord in PM, and he basically explained the whole damn thing. And that's kind of how I got into it. It's like, oh, okay, so this is actually usable and actually more simple to do than I thought it was, which was impossible to do and incredibly complicated. So I was like, okay, so this is actually really cool. I really, really like this. And yeah, and then I watched along, like I watched every stream this week except for prime time Saturday night, because in real life I was home visiting my parents, so good times to see them. Gotta spend all the time I can with them. But
you're helping my mental poll out. Sorry, I just had to highlight that about Saturday streams. That's Person Man and I have had those conversations, but sorry. So you watched every stream, and have you seen your player yet play on stream?
Yeah, first night, Tuesday night, he was the one game we had. It was him and I got.
He was you, and that's what's nuts, because that's got to be a crazy feeling, because it's kind of like Russian roulette for a starting pitcher. Batters get to see yourself. No matter if your team's playing, you get to see yourself. But pitchers, you have to get lucky that you end up on stream. And your first stream, you got lucky. So.
Well, and we're running.
That kind of worked out in the league's favor to have you, because that's important for us to know. It's like, are they seeing themselves on stream? No, yes. You probably would like to, right? Is that something that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool because like we're running 3-man rotations in KC. My arm hurts, but good thing we get off days. So we're running 3-man. So I figured I was going to show up at some point, and then I showed up first day. I'm like, oh my god, like it was either my debut or start number 2. No, it's start number 2. Start number 2 in PBE was literally on stream. I was like, so this is cool. So through the first 3 innings, I had a perfect game going, 1 through 9, got them all out. I think like a K2 or whatever. I'm like, my guy is legit gonna have a good start on stream. This is gonna be so dope. Gave up 7 in the 4th inning, and I was like, yeah, well, so much for that idea. Thanks, Out of the Park Baseball. Thanks for going full OTP on me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, well, that went from 3 perfect to 3 2/3 with 6 earned. Great.
Wow. So that is kind of heartbreaking, honestly, to hear that's how your first start went. But it looks like you're 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Person Man has your page open.
Bunch of no decisions, but if that happens in minors.
Yeah, that's kind of how things seem to go for me right now. I had a good size update this week, so hopefully that goes well working into next week. But that seems to be how everything is going. It's just like my first start was 7 innings, 2 earned. I'm like, okay, cool, great, good first start. And then the second start, I got absolutely destroyed in start number 2, and that's just kind of how it goes. Like, it seems like one start I do real well, and another start I get absolutely pummeled. And then I managed to pitch in a game that was 19-12, but did not get the loss, so I'm proud of myself. But yeah, I gotta the 5.56 ERA is a bit discouraging. But when you peel back the onion and look at the numbers, I actually have a sub-4 fielding independent pitching. So just need the Hepcat infield to step up. We joke about that over on Discord. So my ERA would be much lower.
I'll also point out that in your last 10 starts, 8 of them were wins. So even though you weren't getting the decisions, games that you start 80% of the time, Hepcats are winning.
Yeah, and even though Bingo's got like a 3.5 ERA, I think I'm the only undefeated pitcher we got left. So.
Also, real quick, wanted to shout out Breeze 837's here from the OTP Discord server. This is probably going to all sound like foreign language to you tonight, so we'll do our best to keep all discussion to kind of colloquial and keep it open because I did post them there. So want to make sure we don't lose anybody because we're too deep into league lingo. But Leatherneck Mike, you're a new create. Brainchild's a military vet wants to know, were you a Marine veteran? That's just a random question.
Okay, so I made this name when I was in high school and didn't actually know that was the case. So I knew where I was going to go to school, and I was going to go to Western Illinois University, which is in Macomb, Illinois, and that school is nicknamed the Leathernecks. They're the only school that can actually be nicknamed something, kind of around about the military, because, basically, the guy that really got athletics going to a degree was a colonel in the military, and he, took the name Leathernecks. He asked whatever the Marines were a division of. Not perfect in military history at this time, but anyway, he said, "Hey, can we use the name Leathernecks?" And they were like, "Yeah, that's fine." This was 80 years ago or whatever. So Western went from the Fighting Teachers to the Leathernecks.
That's
and
pretty
then
cool.
Another funny story about that. So in the mid 2000s, we updated our logo. So Western's logo went from a bulldog head, and then they redid the basketball floor. So it was a bulldog head, and the Navy anchor was underneath the bulldog head on the basketball court. And then that happened. They put down the floor, and then the Navy went, "Oh, hey, yeah, excuse me. You know that anchor you have below your head? You actually kind of can't use that. Please tear up the entire floor you just did." Okay, yeah, cool, great. You're a small school, no money. You cool with that? Yeah, okay, bye. So they didn't actually tear up the floor. They just kind of painted over it. So if you're up in the balcony in Western Hall, you can still see the anchor that is not supposed to be there.
Wow. Yeah, kind of crazy. Loki commented on the fact that your school was once called the Fighting Teachers.
Yes.
Thank you, Person Man, for cracking open the new Create page. There is a video I made, Breeze, that would probably help as well. That's actually the video that you probably missed it because I think you joined a little bit after that. But Leatherneck Mike actually watched that video too, and also came over from the OTP community. So
is it on the sidebar?
Is the video on the sidebar?
Yeah.
Working on it. It should be, right? Like how to create a player video. It should be the main default video there as well. It could be either or. That's not a good idea. Speaking of ideas, we were talking about it, and as it stands right now, so if you're not familiar with our league, thank you, Yako, for posting that. Appreciate you for that. So if you click on that, Breeze, the link that Yako posted, that's the video that I made and I posted directly to our OOTP. But right now, as it stands, as people in the league know, your primetime picks are all on one day. They're on Saturday. And it's one sim day. So we turn off out-of-town scoreboard and we play all 7 games, give them spotlight. People have been doing more casino bets on those games lately. We actually had a cool pari-mutuel that Beaver posted for the first time that people didn't understand how that worked. So we are talking about it. Should we split up prime time throughout the week, have like a few on Tuesday, a few on Wednesday, and a few on Thursday, etc., and put them on our normal stream times, and then Saturday could be a normal stream where you're showing all the box scores, all the out-of-town scoreboard stuff that you can ask for. And we're wondering if that be better, worse than what we're doing now. It's just a lot of uncertainty with that. So wanted to get people's feedback on whether we should be sprinkling primetime throughout the week. So a couple of primetime games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, etc. And I think in favor of that, I will argue that you can actually open it up to minors and have some minors games as part of primetime and still spread out the points that you earn where we have it now. But just wanted to see what you guys thought about that. Either one can take over.
So the one thing I would say to that thought that I would immediately notice would be, so on average, because excuse me, I've only been involved for a little bit. How many, like, what have you guys found your groove as? How quickly do you get through a season?
Yes. If you look at the schedule, it's a month and a half.
Yeah. So
I have
yes.
it posted on Discord. Yeah, Person Man, you can
Okay.
go into that one.
Yeah. I mean, so regular season is 4 weeks. Off playoffs is 1 week, and then we usually have 2 weeks of the off season. So it's 7, sometimes 8 weeks overall.
So if you kept the same thing, but you made Saturday a regular stream day, my immediate thing was, if you make it like the regular season, unless you either cut the stream days, just thinking off the top of my head here, unless you either cut the stream days or you just make each stream less days in the actual universe of the game, then you would like that season would be down to like 3 weeks, because I think it was what, like, we had like 8 games. Miners like Hepcats had like 8 games average throughout the week on each stream day, and I think there was 3 or 4 off days there. So you probably get through almost 2 weeks on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Mhm.
So yeah, you would almost pull back to like 3 weeks for the regular season, and then with that, I mean, I'm sure there's off season training and all that, but you would, if you wanted to, if you liked where people were at with their players, like points wise, you would have to increase the amount of TPE earned doing certain things, at least for in season adjustments, because you wouldn't get the same degree of adjustment then if you shorten the season. Or, you could just reduce the games and you could get around that. But, if you like the 2-hour streams, I think that's what we're shooting for Thursday when I'm co-hosting is 2 hours. But if you like the 2-hour streams, then you would keep the same number of games. So, but that would be the only thing I can think of, because I mean, I find it, I find the going through the box stores and the things, like, personally as a viewer, I like that better than
Interesting.
just watching 7 games go all in a row. And I don't know, if you do the different days, like, I think it's kind of cool. Like, it's something the more the spotlight to look forward to, I guess, than just like, if that's the thing you find the most fun, you wait all the way till Saturday to do it. It's kind of like the NFL concept. They were on Sundays, and then they went to Mondays, and then they went to Thursdays, and now they're on Tuesdays because of the coronavirus. So, they kind of expanded to more days. And if you have that audience for streams, say you have a bigger audience, example, I don't know because I wasn't there Saturday, but if you have a bigger Saturday audience, you could bleed that over into the rest of your week, supposedly.
Yeah. You made some great points. I will say what we will probably do is cut the amount of box scores in between games on every night, every stream day. And because you're going to be having, because the reason why we do so many box scores now is because one of our stream days is just one sim day. That one stream day on that Saturday night now will be multiple sim days, like, in the file. So I don't know if shortening our season to 3 weeks would be pretty intense.
Oh yeah, that would mess up a lot of stuff. I mean, if anything, we would have to add another week to the sim, or to the schedule. Because right now the whole reason, so I mean, like, actual, like, length, like in-game days of the Tuesday through Thursday streams are the exact same as they were last season and before. It's just that we're streaming less games per day, so there's more box scores, which was the entire point. And then we mentioned it last week, but yeah, I mean, we have prime times all on Saturday, just because we didn't have enough time to really consider any other options.
Right. I'm just wondering, do people like having it on Saturday? So, like, people need to keep in mind, if you're voting, by the way, polls up, should we sprinkle primetime picks throughout the week? If you vote yes, just know that primetime will be due Monday at midnight instead of Friday at midnight. So it would require us to get them out sooner. And that's something we would definitely take into account, is getting that schedule in sooner. That's just going to make offseason really difficult. But it can be. I'm pretty sure it can be done.
Well, I mean, it would be it would be easy to do. It's just getting out. It would just be setting the schedule for prime times a week earlier, which probably for the first week means you have to extend off season, because we aren't really able to do a lot of the schedule stuff until we have the offline file. We can't do the offline file until we have awards done. So, yeah, you would have to pretty much extend off season by a week almost every season to have that buffer.
Look, slow down for runs, call the scoring highlights. The highlight feature is really good if you don't care about stats that kind of display who won or lost. If we did highlights, we'd have to scrap showing the pitcher stats on the screen, the season stats. If you know how many wins the pitcher had before and you see an extra win, that means they won that immediate game that you're watching in the highlights. I do like that feature though. And that would be interesting to do as like a quick stream on a Saturday instead of showing all 7 games, just showing the highlights of each one, and make it a really short stream so people can because right now 7 games is a lot, and we're not averaging a lot of viewers right now.
Like at that point, you'd pretty much just make Saturday an ISFL stream where they record everything ahead of time, then they just put out a YouTube video.
Yeah, true. If you're just doing the highlights, that's a great point. People just want to know how much TPE they got, but also if we spread out the picks throughout the week, we've talked about it, and I don't want to do this, but we could give more points for primetime like they used to, but scrap something else that we already give TPE for. And the first thing people point to is the picture chain.
Yeah, I was just about to say picture chain. I never understood why picture chain was ever a thing. I don't know. To me, it just seemed really weird when it first came out. And it's worth obviously it was like to cover for other TPE that was lost, but it's just too. I know a lot of people enjoy it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan just because it's the only point test we have that doesn't really relate to our league, because it's a picture about anything. The point tasks, the PTs are about a certain topic, JPTs are about a topic related to PBE. So I would be fine with getting rid of that, although I know some people do like it.
Well, actually, I mean, if I may, I'd like to put up a counter argument for that thought, because somebody like me who is new here, I went and looked at all the tests were, and while I'm totally down with writing articles because I have time as a sports writer, I don't know a doggarned thing about who's gonna be a surprise and make the playoffs when I haven't been in the league before and don't know who in the Sam Hickey anybody is. So it's kind of cool to have the picture chain thing, because for me, who doesn't know what in the wide world of sports is going on yet, I can get some of that TPE back that I don't have access to, or not access to, but don't have the knowledge to get yet until I know what's going on.
Right, which is totally fair. I mean, I've joined other sim leagues where it's the same case. I don't know, if anyone here is doing it, also for you, the index is going to be the best place to get all the information you could ever need. Our index is really, really good, at least how the layout is compared to a few other sim leagues. I think ours looks the best and is the easiest to kind of get around. But yeah, I mean, it's a good point. Also, I completely forgot I have to do my PTs this week. I haven't.
Oh, great call too. Nice. I haven't done mine either. I usually try to get them in before midnight on Sunday. We had a question from Breeze and Person Man. You're going to be great for this one, but also me as well. If you're too busy for school and your player, do they go on auto? What's the question? My response I put in the chat. Basically, if you have a few minutes just to update your player and apply a few points, literally go to the activity check, transfer that over to your player, and add the points to your player, you get to keep your player as long as you want, forever. If you go away for 30 days and don't even log into the site, then you enter into an inactive part, and then you won't really be able to control your player. But Person Man, you can kind of go into that more, since on the GM side, you probably deal with this a lot.
Well, I'm just going to say, so how it works is that you create a player. So it's my player's first name, last name. So you create a player, and then whenever you're able to, you manually update your player. So the section I was just in is like point. So PT stands for point task. So you complete point tasks. So this one is write 200 words about a topic. We have another one that's write 150 words about a topic. We have ones, they're just like, hey, tell us that you're still alive, just to say hi, and you get 3 TPE. A TPE is like kind of like the point system that we use to upgrade our players. So you get TPE, you upgrade your player whenever you're able to, and then someone updates you. So if you're a student and you aren't able to update every week, that's totally fine. I think someone in the comments said, but it really doesn't take too much time at a base level to be in this league. Maybe like 15 minutes a week. If you aren't going to be super active on Discord, and you're just doing your PTs. That's all it really takes. Also, I mean, for me, I'm a full-time college student, as well as I have a lot of other stuff going on in my actual life. But somehow I find way too much time to be in this league, and I think it's something that I mean, if we're being honest, the website is hideous. It is just ugly for the first time you look at it. But now it's been almost 2 years for me, and it just looks so normal. But if you join, if you're a student, do as much as you can. See kind of how you feel, and I mean, most students will be understanding if you aren't able to max earn. We are at.
Thank you, Person Man. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's perfectly stated.
Yeah, we are at 7:30. Do we want to start taking questions? Because I do want to end this right at 8 because the baseball game starts at 8:15. So.
Yeah, I want to watch that while I'm doing my PTs and PT and JPT.
Yep.
Yes, let's go to the chat. We've kind of been fielding questions, but very important that we had a newcomer from outside of our league had their questions answered. Appreciate Breeze for joining us tonight. Really cool to have you here.
Dodgers, come on.
Come back, Zach. Make the site dark mode. We've been kind of playing around with that. That's something you should stay tuned with Majisu. He's working on getting this whole site and everything that goes with it all decoded and putting it into an optional dark mode. So, stay tuned for that. It is pretty bright. I like it. I don't mind that it's bright. You can go on your screen settings and adjust your shade. There's like a certain orange setting you can do, and it works great on our website. It's like it's called like nighttime mode.
Oh yeah.
Where everything kind of looks more orange. But yeah, great suggestion, Zach. I definitely would like to see a dark mode. So Madge has been working behind the scenes as he always does, trying to improve our league. A big part of where we are today. So working on it for sure. Stay tuned. One of those things. Stay tuned on.
What?
Bottom page. Yeah. There is an option for dark mode, but I don't think it shows everything at the moment. You see at the bottom left. You just went past it.
I tried it before and nothing happened for me.
What?
Yes. You see where it says Pro Baseball Experience? There's a drop-down menu at the very bottom. Keep going down, all the way down.
Oh, yeah, this.
Yeah, it should bring up.
Test it.
Yeah, we could test it out.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, so he is. So you could tell it's not completely done. The PBE logo isn't shaded in on every single point on the site.
What is it? Oh, that is very different.
Yeah. See it. Yeah, there is a complete dark mode, but you lose all of the graphics. And not gonna lie, I'm a huge fan. I was a huge fan of a lot of the submissions, but I'm pretty appreciative of the graphic that the Scorpions got this year. It's easy on the eye, and
What's the dark test?
Let's see how
it kind of pops out.
I want to see your graphic for the Scorpions. Yeah, it actually makes it look better. Wow, it makes it look cleaner with the white font against the black background. Yeah. So, hopefully, I know Matt said he was playing with it. I don't know when's the last time you checked in to keep playing with it, But yeah, definitely looks pretty good. I should probably make this my default, honestly. But like it says, it's still in testing because as you can see, not all of the PBE logos are shaded in. But in due time, we'll probably see that.
Let's see how my SIGs look.
Oh yeah, let's see a SIG. Oh, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Did not know that was a thing. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, let's get some more questions. Dodgers Braves, by the way, make your pick in the poll. That game's tonight at 8:15.
Let's go.
Rooting for the Dodgers.
Oh, what? Oh.
Yeah, I hate the Braves, man. I'm a Marlins fan. So any team in your division, you don't want to see them win. Never.
Yeah, but it's the Dodgers.
Yeah. Mookie's pretty likable. Kershaw, he's likable, but he's also kind of fun to make fun of because he chokes. Here we go. If 5 teams make the playoffs again from the West, can we seriously consider new conferences where it's not East and West? Hummus, you and I have talked about this before.
Yeah.
We talked about when we were a great idea I heard, and hear me out. When we moved to 16, which is why recruitment is pretty important, and we're taking that very seriously. Already planning new video ideas to upload and get up. Have my upvote brigade go in there on Reddit. If we move to 16, we do a random draw of division, make it like an AL, and instead of like a West and the East, make it like a AL and NL, and so you can go cross country with the leagues, and then you can probably just split up the divisions. So we're thinking 4 divisions of 4 teams,
right?
And so 2 leagues with 2 divisions in each league, and
there you go.
Yeah, and then so we random draw, so have an AL and an NL, and then have regional divisions, and that way we can kind of start from scratch with the teams and who they play against. Because right now, yeah, the West is really stacked, and there will come a time where the East will be really good. Aviators are moving towards that. The Crabs are in rebuild mode, but yeah, the Rougarous have a really nice process they're abiding by to get up there. You're showing Discord, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's PBE chat. Oh, never mind. I was like, I don't want you. Yeah, so thank you for posting that. Yeah, I think it's necessary. Voyagers are obviously really good right now, and the Toros are really good too. So the imbalance is not that bad this year, but it's been bad in the past for sure. What do you guys think when we move to 16? Is that a good idea to draw out 2 new leagues?
Well, I don't know about draw out. I would hope that we would do it
random draw.
That's part I'm not. I don't know if I would like that. Not just as a GM, but just in general. I don't know, because then you could totally get one division or one conference, whatever, that's just so stacked, and you get kind of the same thing in ESPF here. I would just say that or at least what would make sense is that you would divide the West into 2 divisions, and you divide the East into 2 divisions, and you would balance them within, trying to get those 4 different ones. I mean, that's what would make sense. We don't have to do that. We could just take all the teams and make 4 from there. But I think the idea would be to make them balanced. Which, I mean, I don't know. I don't really think I should be talking, just because ever since I joined the league in season 9, the Scorpions have been one of the top 2 teams in our division
every single season.
Which obviously doesn't happen with every team. But yeah, I mean, at least since I've been here, the West has been decently better than the East, though pretty much every single season. Even though the East does tend to win more All-Star games.
We are on season 21, Breeze. Thank you for asking. I know your new Leatherneck Mike and after hearing Person Man go through his point, made really good points about how the goal should be of that is to balance, and if we random draw, you could end up in a spot where everyone is, or everyone in one league is really good and everyone in the other league is really bad. So the World Series can end up being really skewed. So what would your idea be to kind of shake it up if that's even necessary to you?
Well, if you go out to 16, if you do 4 divisions and then 4 within each, my only thing would be, your divisions would be a little bit on the small side, but that would be fine. My only thing is, again, one of the really cool things about this is the fact that you have this own little world that your player is in. And I think if you go to 16 teams, 4 divisions, 2 conferences, then you should probably do them geographically, just because, again, we're in this own kind of other world. And there is a money system, so it is technically feasible that you could, that having the Cancun team in the same conference as, the New York team, or the same division as the New York team, would be kind of a weird choice.
They currently already are, though, and they're both in the East. Cancun kind of does sit geographically
in a 4-team division
on the Yucatan, right? The Yucatan, which it's kind of in the middle of, if you went north from the Yucatan up, you'd end up in the middle of the United States. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me. I'm not the biggest geography whiz, but they're already in the East together. So if we were currently doing that, which we kind of tried to do, then it would go against what you wanted there.
Geographically. So, if you made a division around New York, you would probably have I don't know where Outer Banks is supposed to be, but an Eastern division. Okay, so an Eastern division would be New York, Outer Banks, Providence, and whatever's closer, Detroit or Nashville. Detroit, Nashville, or Indy, whatever's closer to New York. If you do an East or a West, if you sort geographically, which I think would be kind of cool for the world that is the league.
Well, so
yeah, Person Man, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I don't remember when this was, but a while back, we had this exact discussion. And there was a vote on the site of should we redo divisions, because this discrepancy between East and West has been around for a while. And I remember that there was a whole voting thing for what should we rename the divisions, and part of the idea was that if things got renamed, then maybe teams would move around. We ended up sticking with East and West, and nothing actually happened. But I remember, at least in management, one of the ideas was to take all the teams, look at how successful they've been through the past, let's say 3 to 5 seasons, and then try to create conferences that are balanced in that regard. Because obviously you can have teams that do really well one season, and then they have to ship everyone, or everyone regresses out or retires, and they aren't successful. So, are they a good team or are they a bad team? But I don't know. I think doing them geographically is, if we're pretending that the PBE is real life, that's the best option. But I would also, we would have to see how those divisions actually look, and if they're somewhat balanced. Which, there's a good chance they will be.
Yeah. And Madge always brings this up, and I always point to this too and no is the answer. So, yeah, probably not the best idea because of what randomization could bring in terms of imbalance. And that's probably something something why HO exists kind of thing. It's HO do something. It's okay, make 2 balanced leagues. But I do I like that we have conference. I like the idea of conferences like East and Western Conference, and just rename it from division to conference. But traditionally in America or in MLB, it's AL, NL, and I was wondering how many international versus American teams do we have? Vancouver, Kashima, Cancun, but are they the only 3?
It is only 3.
Yeah, I wish we had the opportunity to go 8 and 8, 8 international, 8 American. That'd be really fun.
Just force all the latest expansion teams to go international.
Force it on them.
Yeah, I mean, no longer is it the Indianapolis Apex; it's now the India Apex.
Who's from Japan, by the way? How did Kashima get picked? Do you guys know?
How did they get picked? Well, we have a process, and they apply, and it comes through HO, and first we pick the people the users that we want running the teams, and that's its own process. And then after that, there's a branding approval process. And from my perspective, as Maj has said multiple times, first of all, we have a lot of international users. Whether you're from Australia, Buenos Aires, England, we have a huge footing in England. We're pretty global at this point. Poland with Magisu, Austria for Juosu. And so because of that, it makes me even more open than I would have normally been to have international teams. And then I found out we play all our games in Providence in the sim because of out-of-town scoreboard purposes. So in the sim, it literally doesn't, there's no travel days. Literally the players are going from one ballpark in Providence, Rhode Island to another ballpark in Providence, Rhode Island, like a bubble. It's so hilarious. We had the bubble before anybody. We beat out the NBA.
We invented the bubble, and we also stopped having fans in the stands.
We got to that quick. I remember I pushed for that. I was like, can we get the attendance lowered for each game so we're not out here, breaking social distancing? But when I heard that we were all in Providence and knowing how many international users we had, when I saw the Kashima application, it made a lot of sense. So. Someone said Loki said Florida's a different country. I don't know if that should make me feel good or bad as a Floridian. Probably bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Florida man, is that you?
Yeah.
Our commissioner's a Florida man, and that's scary.
Honestly, if I was Florida man, this league would probably not exist anymore. I don't know if you're on Reddit, you should definitely subscribe to our Florida man. We have laws in Florida where a lot of things are public more than other states. So that's kind of why we're kind of skewed in terms of looking crazy. But that's because there's media laws in Florida that favor media outlets. So a lot of things are accessible. Speaking of man, person man's players up on the screen.
I'm just seeing how I'm doing.
Yeah, having you all-star, so having a really good year. Chris King was here in the chat. Still has never made an all-star game in his career. Never received an accolade. So I thought this was going to be a season. He was having a really good start, but kind of faltered off approaching all-star break. So hoping he could turn it around.
He's in Boise now.
Yeah, he's on the Raptors. We were hoping that would, at least I was hoping personally, a change of scenery would help him. But Boise's having a great year. So at the end of the day, his players seen a lot of winning, just not all the way. But at the end of the day, to me, I'd rather win than succeed individually. So I know he does too. So having Boise be right in the thick of things playoff race, he's probably happy about that. The thing with his player, and the thing with the All-Star selection, I don't know if you noticed, Ulysses Rove made it. Defensively, if you look at his defensive stats, it's pretty interesting that he made the All-Star game despite his defensive stats. Also, we do have a setting that we click in the file that every team has to have at least one representative in the All-Star game. So, but Kashima brought two. So it was interesting to see because he's playing shortstop, Ulysses Rove. And if you look at his stats, not great.
I would have switched him. Right? No, because they had him listed as a DH originally. So I don't think I ever put him in as a shortstop in the sim.
Okay. So he went in as a...
He went as a first baseman because I think they switched him to shortstop after I had already gone through all the players.
Good idea. Good point. So he made it as a first baseman despite playing shortstop. And yeah, like you said, that's something we do. The sim team has started doing right as the season was starting because of All-Star Game stuff. But it looks like Emmy's been throwing players around in her defensive side of things. But yeah, Rove's slash line's been good. Like, there's no denying, hitting wise, Rove's had a really good season. It's just that defensively, in the zone rating and all that's pretty bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rove's a DH. So,
right.
like his actual player's a DH, so he has nothing against defense.
They're saying Zach said Zach Johnson, one of the GMs of the Stars, said that potentially Rove may be having the worst season for a defensive shortstop ever in PBE in 21 seasons. I mean, I probably wouldn't doubt it.
Probably.
But we love Yurt, so potentially Hall of Famer from the plate. Maybe not. Gonna be in probably in the discussion.
I mean, it'll be close. Like his OPS plus. So for me, he's a Hall of Fame voter. I usually look for OPS or WRC plus of around like 130. So he's right there. I usually look for about 30 WAR. So he's definitely in the discussion.
He'll be on the ballot for sure.
Oh yeah.
We had him for a few years in Vancouver, from New York to Vancouver, back to New York, and now Kashima.
Hasn't had a positive WAR in the playoffs since his first 2 seasons. He's never had a positive WAR in the playoffs in the majors.
Wow. One of those 2 seasons, the playoff seasons in New York, they won it, right?
For sure. Yeah. What year did they
win? Season 12? I think they won season 12. His zone rating was negative 9.3. Jeez.
It's negative 14.6 now. For this.
Wow.
We're halfway through. I mean, 2026, he's negative 12.5.
That's a small problem.
He's never been a good defender.
Right. Career DH.
Was a minor league phenom, though.
Which is interesting, because typically, I mean, that kind of goes in line with the correlation between minor league success, and major league success. My best example I'll ever give for minor league success and major league success is a player named Bob Gibbles. Bob Gibbles played for the Kingston Mounties, and I think of minor league success. Minor league GM, sound off in the chat if I'm incorrect. Call me out, drag my name. But the way you set up your lineups in baseball in general can correlate to a player's success.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So if players are getting on base a lot in front of you, I feel like even in the file, you are become a better hitter. It's kind of like a weird chemistry buff that they put in. And Gibbles in the minors broke a ton of records because that Mounties team, they won the championship. They were super stacked throughout the top of that lineup. If you look
he was also in the minors for 4 seasons, which is interesting.
Yeah, exactly. But he just cracked 1,000 TPE, and he made the All-Star game. And
really?
I think his minor league success has carried over to the major leagues to an extent. He's won Player of the Week before in PBE Major League, and someone who at the time had, or was that minor league player of the week? It was majors.
Player of the Week, their Rookie of the Month.
Yeah.
Their
second in Rookie of the Year.
And then All-Star game.
But if you look at his minor league, the write up there, Player of the Week, Player of the Month, Player of the Week, MVP. It definitely helps to have. I think there has to be a correlation, and I hope that becomes a media piece. Hopefully, I inspire someone to look at what Shitterme did was TPE per WAR, comparing the lowest TPE versus highest WAR, like what was the most balance for that. And a lot of the time for that article was just like veterans. But I would love to see, now that everyone has to go through the minors now, because there was a time where a lot of the players in the league had never touched the minors. But now that all those players are gone, it would be interesting to see what's the correlation between major, your minor league WAR, your major league WAR? Maybe someone can do like a trend piece on that. It would be fun to read about that. Yes, it's come back, Zach. It is great to live up to the ratings. On the sim, it's nice to see that.
Let's see how I can.
Yeah, you guys are all look at that. No players in who's not, all who's hot.
Oh, yeah, for what? For us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had maxed out the who's hot category like last week. We had like 7 or 8 people here, but there were more people that were doing really well.
I mean, we talked about it last week. It's going to come down to DVS and San Antonio this season, potentially. I don't think San Antonio's completely 100% earned that. Like, I think that New York, if they make it, they probably have a little buff since it's mostly the same team from last season, and they made it to the World Series last season. And Cancun this year, they're also really, 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 really strong. Their lineup is hitting out of this world. When you look at Tentacion, Bauer, Steele's having one of their best seasons of their career, DJ Steele, in regression. So, yeah, Toros are probably the NY of this year, right? Where they are probably, barring anything wild, probably kind of a shoe-in to make the World Series. But the West slot's going to be interesting for the division winner. It's going to come down to the end. Bobby Daring's the real deal. Definitely in the conversation for Pitcher of the Year. Is an all-star. I think for the first time. Don't know if Tacos has made the all-star game before. I think this is his breakout season, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be interesting to see what the slots do against the Scorpions, who are definitely the defending champion and favorite going into everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
As we plan to be, hopefully, the top team in the league for the next few seasons as well.
If I could just stick my nose in real quick one more time. I noticed XCW Loki had a really good point in Twitch chat that you guys didn't get to. Considering you do have a team from Death Valley, if you're going to consider moving teams from America to the internationals, then why not just go a whole hog and make an interdimensional league? Because you already have Death Valley in their portal to the underworld. So maybe a trans-dimensional league. Do you have a large trans-dimensional following? Are there many?
You make a good point about Outer Banks, because that's not really a city as well. That could be part of the Outer Banks of space. You can just start getting crazy like that.
Isn't that from what's the TV show? Isn't that from Bates Motel?
Earth to Flashpoints. I know Outer Banks is in North Carolina. That's all I know. But there is a show called Outer Banks. I've never seen it.
It was okay. It wasn't great.
Right. Brains ever getting way too Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, we're a sports league. Let's reel it back. Yeah. But we do have a lot of D&D players in PBE. I know AU Gold mentioned he plays.
Okay.
Where we at? Oh, career. Oh,
stat team. Where you at? Stat team. Where you at?
Wow.
First and last in these couple more doubles.
Just shattering everything.
Well,
won't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop.
Well, I'm the only player. I like Billy Benson. So it's like I'm the only player to really have a full career at catcher. So.
Oh.
So I'm just seeing how cool Santaloth is.
Ah.
Oh damn! I don't hit singles.
Catchers really move around that much?
Yeah,
I guess the DH.
No. I mean, because most catchers in this league come from GMs that they have to swap to catcher later on, or at least back when I joined season 9, like people didn't just raise catcher and stay there for their entire career, or if they did, it's like someone like Ishikawa, he went inactive for like a while, so he didn't really have a full career. Billy Benson did, right? Was he?
Can we bring up his portrait, his render on?
I mean, he's short time, but yeah. I mean, Benson was probably the first actual like somewhat career catcher, and then you got me, I guess Phil J. Fry played outfield for a while, right? Yeah, like I played catcher.
My question for you is, what's your TPE at right now? Because you're deep in regression, right?
Yeah, I'm in my 4th year of regression. I'm 1350 something.
4th year of regression, you still have 1350. That's a wow. I'm never gonna retire.
Yeah.
If I keep max earning, I'll go back to the pen, just chill. So.
Dude, how close am I?
That's where my most success was. I wasn't even that high TPE, and I was second in reliever of the year one season. It was the year that Kid moved to starter. It was that weird year where Kobe Kid he got moved to starter, and so the bullpen opened up for us. And yeah, me and Ripspad both were number 1 and 2 in reliever of the year. So season 18. So I would love to, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th year of regression, 800 TPE, 900 back where I was when I had success. And would be kind of crazy start looking at career records. I know Steiner has pretty much all the Vandal records. So, but career wise, I also know that if you're looking at like a long career, how many did Penny Cowers play?
He played the max. Miss Iverson and I went over to be like, okay, we think you could play longer. No, but I could go to Cowers.
That's probably something worth ending with.
Yeah, but you cannot go longer than Cowers did. For 18 seasons. You can't go longer because the way it works out, you'll have
look at his negative WAR.
You'll have to auto retire.
He only pitched 29 innings, had a negative.
2.
Yeah. So I probably won't go that long, but maybe 18. That's not too bad. So that'd be season 31. 10 seasons from now.
Which 10 seasons from now is almost 2 full years in real life.
That's right.
which is the crazy thing. I'm 2.5 months away from 2 years in the PBE, which is fucking crazy.
With the same player, yeah. Right? And people were getting on my case earlier. They're like, "Not forever," but I'm like, "Dude, when you've been it feels like a while since I've been in the league, and it feels like forever if you play a full career, but it's obviously not forever."
Yeah. Then really quick before we end, for Loki, so for Baton, second base is also another position where no one's really played their entire career. So even though he leads a lot of records, he was an average player compared to other people from his era. Who
can you pull up? Was it Beaton? We'll end with Beaton because that's just interesting. Because
the thing is that Jared Stanton and Roger Baton were pretty much the same player. Some of them leading something, some of them leading the other, but neither of them were really exceptionally good. I voted for. I think I voted for both of Hall of Fame my first season on the team, but then I kind of stopped because
let's see his career. What were the 2 numbers that it was WRC plus and OPS plus?
This is Roger Baton. He had about 36 career WAR, OPS plus of 125 about. So better than average, obviously, but not super good. WAR was good. He's good amount of WAR. And then Jared Stanton, a little bit better OPS plus, a little bit less WAR. So yeah,
he's right under what you were talking about. Yeah, it is 8 p.m.
Yeah, so we can watch the baseball games.
Yeah, we're gonna watch some baseball. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We're very comfortably at around 15 viewers a week, which is fine by me. Thank you everyone in the chat making tonight fun. That was awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, Breeze, for coming over and not even having created and joining us tonight, and probably our smallest stream of the week. Person Man, you got any parting words?
Is Breeze still in here?
Tag Breeze at Breeze. Oh yeah, Breeze is still taggable.
Yeah, see you in here. There you go. There's a link for the website. Can I use? I can't. Okay. can't.
And maybe our YouTube channel's got the creative player video.
Join the Discord.
Yeah, join our Discord. That's probably the best bet. Thank you, Leatherneck Mike, for joining us tonight. How'd you think you did? Better than your betting today?
Yeah, probably better than that, especially considering Aaron Rodgers decided he didn't know what a football was and just wanted to give it to Tampa the entire time. So, yeah, thanks, A-Rod, jerk. I'm a Bears fan and you cost me money.
Wait.
Another Chicago transplant.
Wait, yeah, you from Chicago?
Yeah, just south of there. Yeah, I'm living in Indiana right now. I just moved out here. I started a new job at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
Go!
Wow.
Oh, I hadn't seen the score yet. Let's go! Yeah, I'm also a Bears fan. Let's go!
Oh,
well, thank you, Person Man, for streaming tonight. We'll end with Person Man being excited that the Bears won, I'm assuming?
Well, no, the Packers lost, but the Bears also won, yes.
Yeah, well...
Bears in first place. Best team...
We'll end with Bears are the best team, and Tua played today. So thank you all for joining us. Shout out to Tua Tagovailoa.
Big Dick Nick, let's go. Have a good night.